and welcome. You're listening to International Live, recorded live for Leicester 107.5 FM in the UK and broadcast live on the KJAG network across the United States. Joining me today is my co-host James, aka the Jag. How you doing, James?
Pretty good, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Glad to be back for our second installment. Joining us via Skype, we have from the UK, the one and only Harry Giorgio. Welcome to the show, Harry.
Thanks for having me.
Great to have you here. Obviously, being a UK guy, we know who you are over here, but for our listeners over in the US, could you just introduce yourself and tell the listeners the sort of music you typically create?
Sure. So, yeah, my name's Harry Giorgio. I'm an artist, producer, and performer. I make kind of my own version of reggae fusion, I'd say. So it's sort of, I take elements of reggae and mix it with my more UK influences like grime, rap, even like elements of guitar music. I've got a live band as well, the Well Behaved Young Men. So yeah, we play together quite a lot. But right
now
they're
not well behaved with that name.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that name. Where did you guys come up with this?
Well, do you know what? It was a joke that went too far. I'm not gonna lie. Like we never. Do you know what? My manager actually just printed it one day. It's a bit of an in joke that we all have, and one day I said it for a joke, and the next day it was on a flyer, and I'm not even exaggerating the story.
That is fantastic. That is fantastic. So Harry Giorgio with us today, and he joins us live here on our big program. And so reggae-infused melodies. Tell me a little bit about this, because I have a digital marketing guy in Wichita, Kansas, here in the United States, who is all about reggae and trying to get it in everything he possibly can get it in. And so when I saw your bio and I saw lyrical verses and reggae infused melodies, I'm like, well, I gotta call Seth and tell him to listen to the show today. So tell me a little bit about this, sir.
Well, I was like brought up sort of listening to reggae and stuff. My dad had a lot of like Barrington Levy and like Yellow Man and that kind of thing on.
Yep.
From when I was young. In fact, it's probably the first music I ever remember, to be honest. And I started doing music quite early on as like a garage and grime MC. And I never actually thought about putting reggae into my own music until like a lot later on. When there was an artist that I used to work with quite a lot, Sun, and we had a track together, and I was just producing for him, and I ended up throwing he sort of brought a bit of a reggae sound out in me, and it seemed to just work, and yeah, it got such a good response that like I just kept building on it, and I started realizing that that's kind of more what I felt comfortable doing. So yeah.
Was that the Rude Boy Sound track you released?
That's one of them. The first one was actually Waste My Time, and it was supposed to just be a production for him, and there was something missing from the song, and he left the studio, and there was a little gap in the song, and I just went into the booth and did some vocals, like, and I sort of sang in there was a slight patois influence, but like being myself, and yeah, it ended up like getting a really good response, and then I just kind of ran with it from there, to be honest.
When you're making your tracks, Harry, do you come up with, do you find your beat and your music first, your melodies, and then maybe stick the lyrics on top, or do you try and write something first?
I wouldn't say there's any set like formula at this point. What I find that works best for me is actually just keeping things fresh. So like last year, I went through a big phase where it was just guitar loops. I would write to a guitar loop, and I would leave a guitar loop just going round and round, and I would write a full song to it. Then I would take it to my band, and then we would produce it from there, and we would build it up. But I sort of got a bit of writer's block. Once I'd done that quite a lot, that stopped kind of getting me going. So now, at the moment, I'm more trying to build the beats first. and I'm a producer as well as an artist, and I work at HQ Recording Studio in Leicester as a producer there as well. So yeah, the two things just kind of come together for me, like the producing and the writing. So yeah.
Big shout out to HQ Recording there in Leicester. And your management there is also there as well, is that right?
Yeah. So yeah, Yasin.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
You have got some great influences. You've got some fantastic music. Tell us about this first track we're going to hear here in a few.
Okay, so My Life, that came out a couple of months ago, and I think that one was just a vibe. Like the concept's just sort of about kind of persistence and grit and kind of the law of attraction sort of thing, and it's self-produced. I remember I was just messing around on a piano once, and I was humming something, and then I added some drums, there wasn't anything standing out to me. Then one day I sort of added that dubstep kind of Roscoe style bass to it, and then I just jumped out my seat, and that was that. So yeah, that one's My Life.
Fantastic. Well, we are going to do this. We are going to go to this track, and when we come back, we will keep chatting here with Harry, and here we go on our world famous big broadcast.
Bro, I ain't lacking confidence. I'm trying this music thing so I can see the continents. Some say I'm wasting my time and where I find them. Their negative state of mind, it's their world declining. I don't know about you, fam, but I'm gonna keep on writing. I'll keep on pushing through late nights, I keep on grinding. You ain't got a reason to live, that's what you're finding. Only care about the gang and if they're riding, yeah. Them can't tell me nothing, my life, my life, my life. My life, yeah, yeah. Them can't tell me nothing, my life. It's my life, it's my life. Them can't tell me nothing, my life, my life, my life, my life, yeah, yeah. Them can't tell me nothing, my life. It's my life, it's my life. When I was in school, yeah, thought I was a fool, yeah. Now I'm a move, yeah, go for you, yeah. What you gonna do, yeah? You can't underestimate, no need to complicate. I started a clean slate, keeping my mind straight on the path to elevation. So you can say I'm going nowhere, but I know how your powers are real. Go on, hit me with the coast there, but we know where them tricks come from. Yeah. Them can't tell me nothing, my life, my life, my life, my life, yeah, yeah. Them can't tell me nothing, my life. It's my life, it's my life. Them can't tell me nothing, my life, my life, my life, my life, yeah, yeah. Them can't tell me nothing, my life. It's my life, it's my life. No way, no way, no way. It's my life. No way, no way, no way. It's my life. No way, no way, no way. It's my life. No way, no way, no way. Oh.
Okay, that is phenomenal. And we have got
It's all good.
our great guest back with us here. And holy smokes. It's like you've
good
done
one,
this.
isn't
It's like you've done this before, Harry. that is quite the tune, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So, take me and Dan through the production process of this. What was it like putting this together, or working on it and bringing this thing to life?
Yeah, to be honest, like I think it ended at first. It was just I was messing around with just some generic sort of like offbeat reggae piano kind of thing, and just humming something, and then yeah, as I say, like I was kind of humming the chorus melody, and it didn't really come to life until I added the bass. So I made that bass sound, and I added that, and it just brought it to life. But from when the track was actually first written to when it was finished, there was a good year and a half gap, if I'm honest. You know, like some songs are just done straight away, and some things you have to just water them, and you have to take a bit of time away from them and go back to them. And that one, I think like it ended up just being sat there for ages, and I'd just go back to it and add little bits to it. And once I got all the vocals done, my guitarist, Matt Burry, he came in and laid that extra little guitar, and that was like the final touch. So yeah, and it mixed in-house at HQ by Zach Joshua as well. So big up, Zach. So yeah, man.
Shout out Matt Burry and Zach Joshua. So, Harry, if you were to open up for someone, if you're going to open a concert for somebody with your band, and you could pick anyone, who would it be?
Oh, that's so hard.
It's not appreciate. There's not a lot of concerts going on at the minute, so yeah.
I know.
Maybe like Protege.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's loads of different like bands and styles of music of different levels that I'm into.
Okay. So what would you say? What famous musicians? Obviously, you mentioned Barrington Levy. What famous musicians do you admire at the moment that are sort of out and in the charts and doing bits?
I don't know about. There's a few bands that like I'd say are a big influence to what I do. Because if I just talk about all the music I listen to, we'll probably be here like forever. But
yeah, sure.
Like I'd say that bands like Gentleman's Dub Club, The Skints, even Sticky Fingers, they're an Australian band. Reggae artists like Alba Rose, Protege, Chronics, the Marleys.
Oh yeah, cool.
Too many to mention. That's the kind of vibe that I listen to when I'm creating. So yeah.
Now, you mentioned Chronics there, and he's huge now, obviously, out in Jamaica and all over the world. And I can remember first listening to him. I can't remember which track it was, but it was years ago on the BBC David Rodigan show.
Yeah.
Now, if my memory serves me rightly, you've just been on that.
Yeah, so David Rodigan just played my new single actually today. He just played Lockdown in the Summer on his One Extra show today, so I'm buzzing about that.
Big shout out to David Rodigan if you're listening.
Definitely.
Huge over here in the UK. That's a great success.
What? Saying that, David Rodigan is a live act within himself, and I would love to open for Rodigan. Yeah. Or you know, like he brings artists onto the stage and stuff, and he's got all his different. He's got his orchestra thing he does, like he brings artists out, like that would be cool as well. So, yeah, David Rodigan's in that list as well, to be fair.
And Jimmy, we've got Lockdown on the Summer lined up for a bit later, I believe.
Yes, I believe we're going to play that here in just a few moments. But before we do that, how do people find you on social media, websites? I have a co-host on some of my other radio programs who she always says, I've got to stalk you on social media. So how do we do this, sir?
So all my social media is the same. So it's at Harry Giorgio, Harry spelt with an I, and that's everything. Instagram, Facebook, the lot. It's all at Harry Giorgio.
Nice and easy.
Look at that. Cross branding. You're one of the few artists who went out and said, okay, I've got to be one guy on everything.
Literally.
Because
Metadata is so important, man.
You're not underscore 05 on Instagram or
So at Harry Giorgio across all social media.
I think that's great. I think that is fantastic. So, what has been the one piece of music advice that you have gotten over the years that you were happy you were given and that you actually put into action?
I'd say it's not even stuff that is. Some of it comes from like people who are more motivational or more business minded people. Like I watch a lot of Gary V's content, and he's always preaching about like patience. You know, like you're playing a long game kind of thing. It's not so many artists, they just look at right now, today, and they think that that defines their career, and they compare themselves to other people. And I used to be like that when I started out, but I've just realized that this is a long game and every day is building towards a bigger goal. So like never to compare myself to someone else, if that makes sense.
That's fantastic. That is fantastic. Yeah. So, lockdown in the summer. Give us a little bit of a preview, and then we will play this here in just a few moments.
Yeah, this is a bit random how this came about actually, because this started out as a challenge, as a lockdown challenge. I was being tagged in a lot of these challenges, and one of them stood out because it was just the beat popped up. It was a Rhythm magazine ad, and the beat just sounded sick, so I started writing to it. I uploaded my version, and then the label running the competition actually wanted to release my version, so I added another verse to it, and now it's a song.
Cool.
It's fantastic. Well, we're going to go to that, and we'll be back with Harry here in just a few moments.
Failing to stay floating, and if I could fly, I'd reach the sky so high across the ocean. Stuck in this bubble, cause my life's like a puzzle. It's hard enough just trying to keep yourself out of trouble. Temptations will rise, trying to find a better life, but we fail to recognize what's hiding in plain sight. Looking for a brighter day, we stay looking for a brighter day. I think I need a remedy to come and take the pain away. Sat up in the corner, you know where to find me. Locked down in the summer, call me if you're lonely. Sat up in the corner, you know where to find me. Locked down in the summer, call me if you're lonely. I've got a thirst for this life, so I stay on my grind. Ain't got a lot of money, but I've got a little time. Cause life's what you make it, the chances I'll take them. Hiding from that 9-to-5 grind for a pay slip. We've come so far, but look how we're living. Can't see through the bars in this virtual prison. These days I don't talk much, I just listen. I'm lost in my thoughts, contemplating this existence. Yeah. Looking for a brighter day, we stay looking for a brighter day. I think I need a remedy to come and take the pain away. Sat up in the corner, you know where to find me. Locked down in the summer, call me if you're lonely. Sat up in the corner, you know where to find me. Locked down in the summer, call me if you're lonely.
Wow, look at that. That's a hell of a track. So we are back here with Harry and Dan, and that was quite the deal, my friend. You You have impressed a lot of people, including myself today, with this music and all the different things you're doing, and due to the fact that, you know, when we're going live and also taping this for some of our affiliates, it's like what, midnight over there, and you look like you're getting ready to go out running or something.
That's funny. Do you know what? I actually I thought it was this morning that it was supposed to be, so I made a little mistake, but now I'm here. It's all good.
I'd take the blame for that. Yeah. No, I'm serious, James.
It used to be when
artist here.
He's great, man.
No messing around. This Lockdown in the Summer track has got huge potential, and I'm really glad we've got it some airtime over there in the States because it needs it, and hopefully it'll get it all going. It's all out now, isn't it, Harry? So you can stream it on all the streaming platforms.
Yeah, it's out now. It's also just been uploaded to the High Stereo Love channel on YouTube. So big up them. Big up DJ Denson and MLND on the production. And we also have a video coming for it as well, which is the first place I've announced it, actually. So
world exclusive.
Yeah.
Can you give us an idea of the date when that might be coming out?
I don't have a definite date, but it's very soon that the video will be dropping.
Okay, there we go. World exclusive video on the way for Lockdown in the Summer. Keep an eye out for that.
So how are you? Did you do that video before the actual lockdown, or how did you do this video?
Is it the black and white video?
I think so. Because you've got a lot of content out there. Right, and I'm and I see your videos, I see your music, and I'm like, what the heck are you doing? Everybody should be in place. Everybody's sheltered in place. I'm like, how are you getting around all these restrictions?
But no, that video was that was my lockdown ridden challenge entry, basically. So
okay.
I sent that to Ridden magazine. I uploaded it. And then from that they wanted to release it. So that version, that's just an MP3. Then I just mixed the vocals, I recorded and mixed them. And then the version that's out now, obviously I added another verse and I sent them the parts and they mixed and mastered it and everything. So, yeah, man.
Look at that. Well, this has been fantastic. Before we let you go, my friend, once again, run it down for us. When can we expect some... You mentioned there you've got some exclusives coming and social media. Run everything down for us here, sir.
Yeah, so as I say right now, just promoting Lockdown in the Summer, just being played on Rodigan. It's out on the High Stereo Love channel. We have a video coming for that. And I've got some more singles coming out for the rest of the year as well. Unfortunately, no live gigs as it is, but I'm going to keep putting content out. And yeah, man.
And we can find all your social medias at Harry Giorgio, Harry spelt with an I. And Harry, when you get your next stuff coming out, can we get you back on the show?
Of course.
Brilliant.
Well, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it. And Dan, we'll be right back with you. I'm gonna take a quick little time out here, and then we will be back. But Harry, thank you, sir. It's been an honor and a privilege.
Me, man. Much appreciated.
Appreciate it. And we are going to do this. We are going to go find our next guest. She is going to join us here in just a few moments. And it's quite the deal here. We've got all sorts of moving parts and all sorts of things happening. So let's do this. Let's go to our... In fact, we're going to ring the group here, and we're going to see what happens. Because it's Skype, so who knows? You know, we might end up having one, we might end up having two, or we may just have me. You never know. And look at that.
Hi.
I think we've got her. How are you, my friend?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good, actually. I am patiently waiting on my co-host, and then we will hope he brings some donuts. I don't see donuts there, but we have... So is it Demi or Demi?
It's Demi.
Demi. Okay. Because I always have to make sure I get the proper pronunciation right, because as I've said many times before, especially to our friends in the United Kingdom, hello, I'm KJAG, the ugly American. DJ Dan with us as well. And so Dan, we've got a heck of a second guest here.
We have. How are you doing, Demi? Okay?
Yeah, I'm great. Thank you.
Great to have you on.
So tell us a little bit about your background as a musician.
Okay, so I started out dancing ballet, and that was kind of like my introduction into music, because dance and music are very closely connected. And I've always had a love for music that my mom, she would make me play the violin like any Asian mom would. But I got really interested in different genres of music, and I decided that I wanted to pursue it full time. I kind of just dropped everything and just went full in on this. Yeah.
Cool. Who do you sort of look up to in the music industry? Who's your sort of influences?
I would say Missy Elliott. I really like to bring that fun element of rap, not necessarily hard rap, but to have fun and not take yourself too seriously.
Yeah, sure.
I also really enjoy FKA Twigs. I like how she can portray herself in these different characters. I'm very into that persona, having different characters.
Cool. And you've got a load of tracks out. I had a quick look on your YouTube and I listened to a few of them. But what's your favorite song to perform?
Definitely Sage. I think it's a very hard beat, and it's when I listen to that song, I can't not move, So I really enjoy performing that and watching the audience dance to it. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Cool.
So, what is your social media following like? Because I noticed that you have a lot of you're on all the major platforms and everything. So, do you do one versus the other? How does all that work?
I'm definitely more Instagram, because I'm honestly kind of bad at using social media. I'm not really on that TikTok thing yet. But I do.
Same.
I'm thinking about going on Twitch, connecting
Twitch.
with fans more. Yeah.
Cool. That's taken off massively since it started, actually, Twitch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm the same. Instagram, and I try with the others, but no.
Yeah.
Just can't do it.
So you've got a lot of great music out there. Talk to us about your process. Bringing your music to life.
Okay. Well, for every song, it's different, because I would receive, a folder of beats, and depending on which beat that I choose. For example, for Sage, it was a very different writing process than for Young. I think for Sage, that beat was so opposite of my personality, so I created the Demi the Destroyer persona to kind of fit that song. But for Young, it's a more romantic, it's a slower, more personal track, which is more inspired by my daily life.
Fantastic.
Cool, good stuff.
Fantastic.
Who would you like to collaborate with, other than Missy Elliott?
I would love to collaborate with Sid or Jhené Aiko. I think that would be my dream. Yeah.
Cool.
Wow, you've got quite the background, quite the musical influences. Where do you see yourself in 5 years as a musician?
Well, right now I'm trying to push myself in China, so I would have a Mandarin and an English version of every song.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, hopefully I would be more popping off there.
Yeah.
In 5 years, yeah.
That'd be cool.
Wow.
Big audience in China, haven't they? So.
Yes.
Do you go on tour much?
I was actually supposed to go on tour this year, but with all of the stuff that happens, that didn't happen. Yeah.
Oh,
But
it's a shame.
yeah, I still do performances, like open for other artists who come here to LA. Mostly like
cool.
Korean people. Yeah.
Anyone we know?
A lot of Korean rappers. I'm not sure if you've heard of like BY, like Swings. Yeah,
No.
maybe not. Yeah, but
Maybe I've heard of them, but I'm terrible with names anyway, so I would never remember the name, even if I had heard them, honestly.
So, tell us about this music video and this song we're going to play here in a few. I know I'm going to probably butcher this, but Rari, or is it? It's R-A...
Rari, yeah.
Rari.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like a Rari, like a Ferrari.
Yes.
See, this is why Dan is here. So he can pick up the pieces. He can pick up the pieces and he can clean it up and he can make it professional after I come in and screw it up. Tell us about this music video and this song, my friend.
Yeah, that music video, even though it came out the most recent, it was actually the first song that I wrote. It's like from years ago. So I was still like, I think I was like 17 or 16 when I wrote this. I was still trying to figure out like my rapper persona, I guess. I wanted to make a really fun dance track where I could have dancers and, have fun performing it on stage. So this song was kind of like a product of me trying to create a fun rap song as a 17-year-old.
That's great. That's great. Well, we are going to do this. We are going to play the music video for our video viewers and also for the radio listeners in the UK and in the US. Enjoy this track, and we are going to be back with our guest here in just a few moments. Thanks for joining us here, and here we go.
I've been working on stuff much. In the studio, the golden touch is just stick to the script, come through in the clutch. Flows water and a rope rush. Triple doubles like Russell Westbrook when I post up. 我不吹牛，听在我的说唱，就会知道 Young Dummy 才是真牛，我才真牛。There's a real deal right here, fuck 可真的没有折扣，不打折扣，也有请靠边，没有事儿就不说了再见。谢谢你给我打电话，看我在呀，我们不用再聊，现在活得很好 ，You know I love it。我现在过得很好 ，Better live in this time。Go get on the phone， 赶快打给你的朋友。Hold up， 你有什么请求 ？Pour up， 没有时间享受。你是不是后悔没了我？是不是每天都喝醉？我没时间浪费，全部都投予你，输了1000倍。为什么把事情能真早？为什么这么做？为什么这么做？你要就是乱着搞，就这么无情，就这么无情。心为你跳，就像心脏病，全部都给了你，全部都给了你，全部都给了你，全部都给了你，全部都给了你。谢谢你给我打电话，看我在呀，我们不用再聊，现在活得很好 ，You know I love it。我现在过得很好 ，Better live in this
Okay, so that was pretty fantastic. And it's Demi, and we are back live here on our big broadcast, coast to coast and border to border. And as you can see, We got apparently. We got things haywire is what we've got. We've got all sorts of things that are haywire here, which is always good. But we go back.
I passed my grade 7.
And that was a pretty cool little track, my friend, and music video. Tell me and Dan here about this music video that you did for that track.
Oh, yeah. Well, the video was done in 2 separate times. So the scene where I'm in like a white like set was done like very many years before the one where I'm like walking on the street. It was directed by Cinema Tommy. He did my stage music videos as well, and Jay On, who does like Janae Aiko's music videos, which is really cool. I thought.
Wow.
Yeah. Very big.
So,
well,
Dan, jump in there. I didn't mean to step on you, brother.
I was gonna ask because you mentioned earlier on that you've opened for some people in LA, some gigs. Where have you performed, and what's your sort of favorite and least favorite venues you've performed in?
Well, I performed in a lot of like club scenes, and those are always my least favorite because I feel like the audience at these club venues are more they're not really focused on the act, so it's kind of difficult, and the sound's always kind of iffy. Yeah, it's always very iffy. So my favorite places to perform are definitely like festivals, like K-Town Night Market. They have really good sound system, and everyone's very engaged. It's definitely like my favorite.
Cool.
Fantastic. So we have got you mentioned the video, Sage. We're going to play that here in just a few moments. Talk to us a little bit about this track and this music video before we go to it.
Sage is produced by Holly, he's like an incredible like EDM producer, and he's a great studio friend of ours. And when he played this track for me, I was just like, oh my god, I need to be on this track. But it's unlike anything that I've ever heard before. So to create the song, I kind of brought out like my inner persona, like the Demi the Destroyer. Yeah, and that's basically where I took that track.
So that might explain your Twitter handle.
Yes.
I think so.
That is awesome. Dan, go ahead.
Are you about to play the track, or we've got time for one more before the track comes on?
No, go ahead. We'll.
I was just gonna ask what's next for you, Demi. What have you got lined up for the new year, or if anything yet?
Well, I have an EP coming out, but before that, I also have another single coming out. I just literally filmed the music video for it yesterday.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's coming out October. Yeah, that song I'm very, very excited to release. I have like a cool feature on it that I'm sure people will be excited to hear.
Oh, come on. Can you tell us?
I'm not sure if I can say anything right now, but I'll definitely keep you guys posted.
Come back on when you can tell us. Okay?
Yes.
It sounds exciting,
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You're leaving the United States and UK listeners in suspense. So you're doing a good job as a storyteller
I'll
there,
get
my friend.
fired, yeah.
Well, that too. So we're gonna go to this track. I appreciate you making time for us today. Thanks for coming on the program, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you, Demi.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, my friend. And we'll be back with Dan after the break. And we are going to go to this track here on our big program. It is Sage. And it's right now.
Hold up, stop, drop, roll lethal. If you see pop, pop, there's a weasel. Ghost spider when I pull up in the drop top. Burning like hellfire on your next block. Ay, 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 get your shit straight. Tell them bitches in town there's a new name. Make way, new player, new reign. Better check my ID, I don't slay, I destroy. Cute face, I don't mind it. 5'2", bitch, I don't hide it. Slide me DMs, I don't mind it. tripping, check my mindset. Did it hurt your ego? Here's a nice pat. I got the whole place lit up. Fist up in the air, I'm a superhero. Yeah, I say sipping with the Bombay. What up? I just wanna live it up my way. Hold up. I got the whole place lit up. Fist up in the air, I'm a superhero. Yeah, I say sipping with the Bombay. What up? I just wanna live it up my way. Hold up. You about to have me gassed up. This about to be a dope cut. You about to have me gassed up. This about to be a dope cut. I'm fresher than a freshman, learn your lesson. Now put your hands up like you got a question. I'm too real, I'm too trill. You're too fake like a $3 bill. Step up, or else you gotta sit down. Get up, so I can see you get down. I'm in your head like a lobotomy. I got the right angle like geometry. You can't get me out your mind, it's fine. All you wanna be is mine, I ain't got the time. All I'm trying to do is shine, keeping things in line. And you wanna go together like Corona and Lime. And foul mouth and cute. Better walk it like you talk it or I'll put you on mute. Go Medusa, go get the close up. Get too close, gonna wake us to monster. Why stand at the front door? Switching up, shit don't got the time for. Get a call past 10, press ignore. Watch you try to ghost me, what an eyesore. I got the whole place lit up. Fist up in the air, I'm a superhero. Yeah, I stay sipping with the Bombay. What up? I just wanna live it up my way. Hold up. I got the whole place lit up. Fist up in the air, I'm a superhero. Yeah, I stay sipping with the Bombay. What up? I just wanna live it up my way. Hold up. With the Bombay. What up? I just wanna live it up my way. Hold up. I got the whole place lit up. Fist up in the air, I'm a superhero. Yeah, I stay sipping with the Bombay. What up? I just wanna live it up my way. Hold up. You about to have me gassed up. This about to be a dope cut. You about to have me gassed up. This about to be a dope cut.
That is Sage. And we are back. We're hopefully going to be back. We're going to get Dan back in here. We'll see what happens here. And we'll go to me, then we'll go to Dan. That's kind of how this whole thing works. It's kind of a back and forth. You know, you go to me, then you go to Dan. So, So Dan, as we wrap up here today, what did you make of our two guests today?
You know what? I am really excited about both of these guests, Harry Giorgio and Demi Chow. I think they are very exciting. You know, they're both very unique, very sharp, very switched on individuals as well. And I think it's just a matter of time for these guys.
Yeah. I'm
really pleased with our lineup today. It's been great.
It is quite the deal. Next week, we are going to have in studio, which I'm still trying to figure out how the heck this guy's going to do this. But we have a guy next week who is going to be in the studio here in the United States, who he's going to do an interview with us, and then he's going to, if you can believe it, folks, getting ready to go on tour. What? How in the world is he going to do this? We are going to figure that out next week.
For some countries, it's fine.
I don't know. We're going to figure that out next week. But so Dan, as we wrap up here with you, let's do some plugs. How do people find you on social media and listen to you over there in the United Kingdom and everything else?
Yeah, thanks, James. Everyone can find me generally on Instagram, DannyD213. You can listen to my show. It's on weekdays, Monday to Friday, 5 till 6 p.m. Via the TuneIn app. And if you look for Leicester 107.5 FM, it's a UK station, obviously. Our show, which we've just done, will go afternoon during that same time slot, 5 till 6 p.m. So all the artists you've heard today and the music will be played again on our local radio station here in Leicester.
Fantastic.
On Friday.
Well, I look forward to chatting with our artists next week. And Dan, as always, you have been fantastic, my friend. And
and I'll have another guest lined up for you as well, James.
I think this will be fantastic. We're going to try to go for 3 in a row on the good guests. So we'll see what happens, baby. Well, Dan, thanks. And I will talk to you soon. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it. There he goes. And DJ Dan over in the United Kingdom.